Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another journal with me, and again I'm going to combine two prompts. So I'm going to combine details and torn, and we're on days 13 and 14 for this one. You can see my journal is getting chunky. That's just 13 days there. And what I wanted to do today was use these photographs that I took a few years ago of some, I guess they're cosmos, it's just one white cosmos. I used to be heavily into macro photography. I still would be now if I had the time, but so many other things have taken up my time. So I've got this photo here, I mean heavily edited and filtered, and then I've got this little close-up here of this stamen, and then this one which is front on as well. I just really love this series of photos. I've printed them twice in the same size, and then another time at the bottom here a bit smaller. I just guessed the sizes, I didn't really think about it, and it's going to cover these 2 pages. So being macro photography, you know, I want to hone in on the detail in these pictures. They're very fine details in there. This is super sharp, fine, detailed macro photography. And the other prompt was torn. So nearly everything in here is torn. I tear everything just about. There's a few that I've cut, like these paper samples. I've cut this page here, but I've torn this white paper with the lettering. I've torn this, I've torn all of these washies. This is a torn page here as well. So tearing is not something unusual, and I think that's probably the case for many people. So this is glossy photo paper. I think it's Canon, but I'm not sure. There is no logo on the back. I'm not sure how it tears either, but we're going to give it a go. Okay, not too bad. And, you know, I'm a fan of tearing it so that you get that white edge on the page. I really like that white edge. So if you weren't a fan, you could just tear it the other way, tear it away from you instead, and then you would not get that. So like that, you've got, I mean, that's the white paper there, but you've got no edge when you do it that way. But I like it, so I'm going to tear away from me so that I do get that edge. So I'll just tear this first. Oh, I've accidentally torn that one as well. I wasn't going to tear them all, but it looks like that's what I'm doing now. I just want to be a bit more careful with this one because I want to capture only the dark part of the photo. And by that, I mean, I didn't want to capture this white edge of the paper. But I just like how, to me, it just looks like, you know, a little piece of a memory. This one has too much on the white edge, I feel. So I can just maybe cut some of that back with the scissors. And then we'll do the third one as well. I think I might just get it off the page. And let's tear this one. I have no idea how this is going to look apart from this part that I'm just tearing it. I haven't sort of figured out how I want to place them. You know, I've got 3 photos to put over 2 pages, so let's see how it comes together. So we've got our dark photo, our 2 lighter ones, so potentially this could go on this side with the sentiment talking about details or torn in some way. And while I'm here, I'm also going to cut out these small ones. don't know if I'm going to use these, but just have this sort of mild idea in the back of my head. So let me trim these down, give them all a little white border. Okay, I think I'm going to come back to tissue paper again, and I have this kind of yellowy one. It was just screwed up in a box, and I feel like it might be nice to have with these colors in this particular photograph, because it has some yellow in it. I think it suits quite nicely. I'm not sure if I was to pop this one on here with this. And then this one on this side as well, with these two. We kind of have two elements of torn there, and then I have some washi tapes and things that I might bring in as well. Okay, I think we're going to have to make some kind of commitment here. I think I've cut this down, but this footage, but I have been staring at this page for a good 10 minutes and not coming up with anything better. So this is what I'm going to go with. Hopefully it looks okay in the end. We'll see how we do. But I just feel like having some textured paper underneath these torn photos will just make a bit of difference. So that's what I'm going with. I'll layer them sort of over the edge of the paper as well. And I will come back with some more in a moment. But let's see what we think of this. Okay, and our main flower here. Just going to pop in the middle. And I have a little quote that I wanted to put in here as well, but I was just thinking, I have this graphite pencil. I was just thinking about making some lines around the photos. Just this kind of wispy outlines. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it looks. It's actually water soluble pencil, graphite. But I'm not sure I'm going to do anything with water around these photos. I just kind of like the piecey look of this pencil. I mean, dare I say it gives a little extra detail. And it's nice and messy. And I wanted to put some embellishments on here as well. Let's see if I've got some black ones still. I've only got these brown and yellow ones, so I might use those. But first, I wanted to put a little quote in The quote is from William Morris. It says, "The true secret of happiness lies in taking a genuine interest in all the details of daily life." So I'm just going to write that here. Super messy, but that's me. Let's write it in. Okay, there we go. I'll bring you up for a closer look at my messy handwriting. But this is a really messy spread, I have to say. I don't know how I feel about it, but, and it's definitely not what I expected it to be, but that's okay. Many of them aren't, I'm finding. They're just turning into something that just takes off from the spirit of the day, you know, whatever I'm feeling at the time, or however I'm feeling at the time is kind of how these are coming together. And that's okay. I'm okay with it. I think I've said somewhere recently, this is super out of my comfort zone sometimes, some of these spreads. You know, I'm very used to just working with stickers and washi. So, of course, I always revert back to adding some of those. But to do this with paper and things is very different for me. So I'm enjoying it, absolutely. But I never know how it's going to turn out, which, you know, is hard sometimes to get my head around that fact. Okay, let's take a look. We've got our washi strips at the top there. We've got our beautiful photo, which has glue all over it, actually. And I wanted to add some of these little guys. Maybe some of the brown and the yellow. So let's pop some of these on. I found lately that I've enjoyed layering these little gems two together, and I'm using a yellow and a brown, so I'm thinking I'm going to do one of each. So this is a brown. I'll add a little yellow one near it, and I do tend to like to put them sort of sitting on the edge of a photo if possible. And this one I've done on the where those two lines connect. It's not very scientific, it's just, you know, how it is. And this little guy, I think I'll just pop just there like that. Okay, so here we go with torn and details. You can see there's definitely lots of tearing in here, and I'm hoping you can see through the photography that I've focused in on the details with those macro shots. I don't know how I feel about all this messy pencil here, but I like the little gems. I like the quote. I even don't mind how it's written there. I think it's kind of cute. And this addition of the grid washi always helps. I might put a bit more here actually, just to even it out. Just put this piece under here. Yeah, I think that makes more sense to me. Okay, I'm hoping those photos are coming out okay. Let's see if I can give you a little more brightness. Hopefully you can see them there in that shot. I really did enjoy these photos when I was taking them. It was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago now that I took these. But I love doing macro flower photography, and I have tons of these types of photos in my stash, so I might see more of them as the time goes on. In the meantime, that's it from me for Junk Journal July days 13 and 14, combining 2 prompts into one yet again. I hope you've enjoyed. Please let me know what you think. this one is a bit different. I'm keen to hear from you. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all super, super soon. Bye.